Hello, beautiful people. Again, it's Celia Musunengzengele here. If you're coming across this YouTube channel for the first time, welcome. Please like and share this video. If you are a return sabi, welcome back again. Thank you so much. I do appreciate a lot of your data, airtime, and time that you are spending on me. And I'm having another story time for you. This one is not as funny as the one I uploaded earlier. This one, lucky enough, is not of. Guys, I tried. I tried finding this thing called love. I tried finding love. Shame. Gizamile, uyala, yes one. Okay. This one I met at work. Unfortunately, it may happen that he may see this video. Tough luck for him. But whatever I'm gonna say here is the truth and nothing but the truth. So, this guy I met at work. He was a friend for years before he became a boyfriend. Graduated to be a boyfriend after years of knowing each other. With this guy, I learned that, you know what? No matter how much you think you know the person, don't ever believe the story that you hear one-sided. The story that you hear from one person, do not ever decide to run with it and believe it as the 100% truth. So this guy, this one I want to give a name. Let's call him Spiwe. Let's give him the name Spiwe, not his real name anyway. Fine. And Spiwe, he was a colleague, a very nice colleague. I knew him to be that guy who is a family man. He was married, he had a wife. By the time he came to our a school that I was working at, because I worked there first before him, he had a wife and 4 kids. And the wife was studying. While we were still working there, Spiwe had the 5th child while at work. They had a 5th child whilst the wife was still studying. Okay, fine. Life goes on. A university nearby. Let me not name the university. He was working. She was studying, and she was studying to be a teacher as well. Fine. Life goes on. We're getting close, but just purely as friends. Then one day, boom. The principal calls me to the office. The principal was a white lady. Oh, she loved gossip, that lady show. I don't want to lie. She really did love gossip. She calls me to the office and then asks me if I had anything from Spiwe. I said no. She said she would encourage me to ensure that Spiwe is right, because Spiwe is in hospital. He seems to have had a problem with his wife. The wife left him. He tried to commit suicide and he is now in hospital. And I got shocked. Of course, it was not something that she could say in a meeting, but then she called me. Okay, I took it that she called me because I'm older. I was older among the black staff that was there at the time. And by that time, we were only about 5 or 7. We were a single digit. We are very low, below 10 as black staff. The majority of staff was white at the time. That's part of the reason why we were close as the black staff. We were very close to each other. We used to we talk and be friendly with each other. But this particular incident, he had not told us. Of course, he wouldn't tell us he was in hospital. And I don't think anyone would be like free to tell that I'm in hospital. I tried committing suicide. It's not easy for everyone to do. Fine. I decided I was still married at the time, and then I tell my husband that hey, I had this and this about Spiwe, and your Spiwe is such a good husband. What? I said all the good things about Spiwe. Um. Okay, fine. Huh? No, I'm married, man. Spiwe in hospital. I'm telling my husband, and then I tell my husband that I would like to go and visit Spiwe. And I invited him, wouldn't you want to accompany me? And he said, no, I don't want to interfere into your work politics and your work insides of your colleagues. It wouldn't be advisable that I be there. So just go alone. I I decided let me go alone. I did not even invite other staff members because remember I was told this in confidence by the principal. I go there, I look for him in hospital, I find him, and he's happy to see me, very very happy. And then I start seeing the cuts he had cut himself. Him and the cuts were very deep. And I'm asking what happened, and then I discovered that he cut himself with a knife. Not a razor. He cut himself with a knife. And few cuts. It was like cuts, man. Eesh. They were horrible. And he went into the bath, opened the water so that the blood can just flow in the water, so that he doesn't clot. These wounds cannot clot. That's how he tried to commit suicide. Okay, and he was happy to see me. Tried comforting him, and he told me that the wife had left him. Okay, fine. I cut the story short because now he's still in hospital, and if I'm not mistaken, it was a nurse or a doctor that arrived while I was busy talking to him, and they wanted to be busy with him, and then I decided it's time I leave. He comes out of the hospital, and now I'm the favorite colleague because now I'm the one that knows at least something about him, something personal, and I didn't tell anyone about what happened. Okay, I told one friend. I had a very very close friend. I told that one friend, and uh, now here's the story that I got. Remember, I told you the wife was still studying at varsity. She had just finished. After finishing, she got a job somewhere about, let's say, about 100 kilometers away, and then she couldn't travel. She decided to stay there, nearby the workplace. As a result, now she was coming home. At first, she was coming home every second weekend, and thereafter she started coming home after a month, and thereafter one day she just came and take her stuff and left. That is the story I got. Really, I was so angry with that lady because now I felt like she used this guy to get her education, and now that she's sorted, she has her education. Now she no longer cares about this guy. She leaves this guy just like that. And by this time they have 5 children. 5. So I felt like this woman, This is bad. This is bad. And of the five, one of the children she had found him with, and but she raised that child as her own. Fine. But now it surprises me that how can she stay for so long, have so many children, and then when she's supposed to build with the husband, now she decides to just up and leave. And then one day this guy tells me that actually this woman was actually either she was the first boyfriend she had. Oh no, he was the first boyfriend she had, if not the second, something like that. But come listen to this. This guy, Spiwe, was a teacher. As a teacher, he had this child as one of his children, learners, children in the class. He proposed love, carry on proposed marriage to that child. In other words, he married her while she was still a learner at his school. Not just that, he was teaching her. Hey, and guess the subject that he was teaching? He was teaching life science. So I guess the life science moved away from the book to real life. Oh. So fine. Now she is a teacher. She leaves him. Wara wara wara. I feel pity for this guy. This guy tries to move on, ends up having this girlfriend and that girlfriend and that girlfriend and that girlfriend. Depressed, comes in and out of hospital from depression, sits at home for a while with depression, ends up being diagnosed with bipolar. Okay, fine, but at work we didn't see that maniac bipolar side at all. We just saw this guy that is sweet, that does his work diligently. Whenever he was at work, he was like the hard worker. Now, me started having problems, I think, around 4 years after his divorce with the wife. They ended up divorcing. So after his divorce, about 4 years after his divorce, now I have problems in my marriage. That problem, that bombed my home. Not even 3 years. I think not even 4 years. It must have been 3 years, because I remember that I dated him 2 years after my breakup with my husband. Then I found comfort in him because he had been through divorce before. Amongst the colleagues and the staff, he was giving me so much support, and I was grateful for his support, encouraging words all the time. He was a person that I could trust with the problems that I have, and so on and so on. That made us grow closer. We got closer and closer and closer in that 2 years, and unfortunately, now he started making advances after 2 years. The friendship moved from that to something else. At first, I was like, it got me disturbed. Like, how can you ruin something that we have? You know, guys, when you have a relationship with a guy, the minute that relationship changes to when you're having a friendship, I want to say, when you have a friendship with a guy, the minute that friendship changes from friendship to now relationship, or just the advances towards relationship, it changes everything whatsoever. You cannot be friends with him anymore after he has expressed that to you. But majority of us as women, after a guy has told you about their feelings, it's either now you're gonna be disgusted by them, or you're gonna be now starting to grow feelings for them. And in this case, it got to be the latter. I ended up having feelings for him as well, and deciding that let's take it slow. We started taking things slow, and then we picked up speed, and the relationship, soon the relationship was fine. The relationship was hot, man, was hot. At first it was hidden from the colleagues, and as time went on, it got out of the bag, and everyone amongst the staff ended up knowing that we are an item. So the relationship went on and on and on and on. It was warm and warm and warm, but unfortunately the person started showing red flags, and I also started not taking the red flags seriously. Unfortunately, he started this jealous rage. As time goes on, comes the young staff at work, male staff. I remember there was this young guy who was very, very young, and he looked up to me as a big sister. Yo, the day he accused that guy of having feelings for me, having what, I was like shocked. This child, this is a child, man. That guy was about what? No, not 20, maybe 15 years younger than me. But he thought that guy can really, really make advances on me. And it really surprised me that where does that come from? He persisted. He got attitude for that guy, for that young teacher. Hey man, hey. Now comes a time when now I have to choose. He wants me to choose between him and the guy. Like, choose what? So I must choose. If I want to have a relationship with him, I must stop friendship with this guy. It was not even friendship. I don't like. I can't even explain what it was. Hey, men can. I don't even know what to say. Hey, I've seen things, guys. I've seen things in this world. I've seen things. I've met people. Because really, that was one of a kind person. I've never dated anyone that was like that. The jealousy starts. The jealousy is the jealousy. He's just jealous. No one should be talking to me. Like, I'm on guard. No, he's on guard. I am under guard. He's all forever guarding me. Who am I talking to? It shouldn't be a male person. Hey, the jealousy got bad. Fine. And the relationship went on. Guess what? I think I've got no luck, guys. My luck ended with my first husband. I'm telling you. I'm saying first husband because I'm still gonna get a second husband. I'm ready. I'm ready for the second husband. Fine. He is so stingy. He's also a member of Stingy Men Association, to a point where I do not know a cent from him. Until I'm like, I'm a guy. Me and you are working together. So if me and you are working together, I know what your salary is. It may not even be to the exact cent that I get, but I know plus minus. So be a man, do something. Okay, I understood that he had a wife, no, ex-wife, and 5 children. Not actually 5. He had a 6 6 children at the time. Ne? He had 6 children. One child he had when he was still young before he got married. And then he had the other one, whom the wife with 4 kids was raising. So in total he had 6 children. So I understood that he's got a great responsibility in front of him and on top of his shoulders. So I did not expect a lot from him, but I expected something. Hey man, something. The day Mogai gave me money to go buy him grocery, and he was a chain smoker, ne? Yeah. There I am buying grocery. He tells me he will give me my money when I'm done. I shouldn't worry that this one you must just use for grocery. Please buy me some groceries. And then I go, buy groceries, and then buy him a poke. Buy him a big poke, a poke, this box that has got 20 packs of cigarettes inside. Was it 20 or 10? I can't remember. So I buy him a poke, come with it, thinking that poke can last. Even if it's not a month, at least it can last for about maximum time, man. Maybe 2 to 3 weeks. Where? The day Mogai gave everyone who's his friend a pack of cigarettes, such that the cigarettes did not even take 2 days. I was defeated. This guy, we were building something, because guess what? He had told me that we are getting married. Hey, bengbonum shot here. For the first time, I even told my mom that I have a boyfriend. Wara. I wants to marry. That time he said he wants to bring his uncles to my place. So I thought, let me go and tell my mom, because by then my mom had already passed. Actually, my father passed while I was still with him, while I was still in a relationship with him, because I remember he helped me to remove my father from hospital to hospice, because I was working then. There was no way I could take care of my father while he comes from the hospital. So the minute they told me that he is out of hospital because he couldn't do anything for himself anymore, there was no way I could afford to hire someone to take care of him, and also I couldn't because I was working. So I decided that let me take my father to hospice. I was with this guy when we transported my father from the hospital to hospice. Fine. Hey, the day he told me how I dumped my father at the hospital, I've never cried like that. How he helped me go dump my father at the hospital, I've never cried like that. Whereas he knew exactly all the reasons. I had told him exactly the reasons why I was doing what I was doing, why I decided to do what I decided to. Then, fine, and we passed that. He apologized for saying that. I was like, what kind of a person is this though? This person is jealous, this person is inconsiderate, he doesn't think before he talks, he hates me like this. I'm not used to this life, guys. I was not used to that life, because my ex-husband was the sweetest thing ever. So this was a new character of a person I've never been introduced to. Hey, comes the time when comes a time when he gives me money one day, and then he gives me 200 rands, and then he gives me a list of things that he needs. I go to the shop, and only to find that this guy was like counted already the things that he needed, that they will be exactly equal to that amount of money. Then I come back, I'm expecting him to keep his promise that he would give me something. And then he tells me that he has paid his debts, he's got his debts, he's got nothing. And also, remember, he's putting away some money for lobola, guys, for lobola. Miguel wants to get married again. Yes, Miguel wants to get married again. Hey, life goes on fine. I'm thinking, maybe next month will be better. Maybe next month will be better. This guy, I know particularly that we dated for 6 months. What happened is, to end our relationship, it was in December. I was supposed to go to my kin center. I went to my kin center, and then while at my kin center, some days I was sleeping at his place, and some days we were sleeping at my place, because I had taken my children to my mom's place during the session of the exam, because I didn't want them to stay alone. They were still younger by then. Fine. Then, you know, when you go and sleep over at your guy and you are going to work, definitely there will be things that you are leaving there. I'm leaving some of the stuff there. Yeah. I go to work. Well, it was the last day. We were planning that after the last day at the Makin Center, we're gonna spend some time together. That very day is the last time that I'm coming from. It's the last time at Makin Center. So I'm looking forward to coming home to spend some time with him. He calls me to the Makin Center and tells me that he is leaving. Unfortunately, I cannot come and join him that day. He will be leaving, going to his sibling's place, and they are having a braai. Guys, it's a Wednesday. But then it was in December, so part of me does believe that, okay, it's December, people have got money, maybe that is why they are making braais, just arranging braais during the week. Now I'm like, why is he not inviting me? Because he had also introduced me to his family. Not all members of the family, but some of the members of the family. Some of the siblings knew me. Hey. Okay, I come. But man, something in me tells me that this ain't it. This is not it. Fine, I come, and I'm coming from the Makin Center. I arrive. Oh, he had told me that he'll come late. He'll tell me when he's home. Around that evening, he calls and says he's gonna sleep over there. Aye. Something told me that something said, Musadi, Twakatlu, go and see this guy. I went out. On my way there, I don't know, part of me did not want to be surprised. Part of me did not believe his story. That is why I drove there. But also, I thought maybe I can get him to clean up whatever that he is doing, because I told him I'm coming. I called him and he was like, I'm not home. Where are you going? I told you I am in Kelele, waka 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 waka. And I was like, but no, I'm coming. I went there and I knew him. He's a chain smoker, like I told you. I knew that I was planning to go and park next to his house. I knew that at some point he's gonna come out and smoke because he's a chain smoker. Guess what? My luck, as it is, instead of me having to wait for him to come out and smoke, guess what? I found him outside smoking. You saw my car? He came to the gate and told me to leave. Like a dog. Please leave. What are you doing here? What? He's no longer that guy, that sweet guy. I'm like, what's happening here? Now my suspicion grew. Like, what's happening? What are you hiding? What is this? What's with the attitude? And he was like, please leave. I don't want you here. I was like, okay, fine. If that's the attitude, just give me my things and I'll leave. And just know that when I leave now, you'll never see me again. But please give me my things. Hey! Now he's acting very, very angry. He is so angry. I'm angry. Why did you come here? I told you I need some me time. Waka, 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 waka. Now you're not giving me time. I said, couldn't you have just been honest with me and told me you need some me time? And see if I would react this way. Because I'm an adult. I understand me time. Also, I do need me time. I know what that is. You don't have to lie about your me time if you really do want me time. And what is with this attitude? Why are you this changed person that I do not know? And he was like, adamant, I must leave. I said, okay, I'm not leaving without my things. Guess what? Took out a phone. He called someone. Baby. Under the bed. I can't remember, he said which side, on the left side or the right side of the bed, below the bed. Check for the black plastic. I have put some things in there. The guy had put in my clothes that I had the previous day in there, and my makeup things and everything in a black plastic. Guess what? Tells baby in the house to come and put my things outside. Who's this now? It's my child. It's my daughter, my first daughter. The daughter that I do not know, ne? The one that I haven't met. This one, the very, very first one. He tells me that is his daughter and he wants to spend time with his daughter. Waka, 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 waka. Comes the daughter outside with my black plastic. I look at this daughter. Guess what? I know this face. This face. No masabaring. This face I know. This face is a face of Elena. One of the Lenas. And then she take my things, put them outside, threw them there actually. She threw them outside. Bravely and unashamed. You know, she threw them outside. And I was like, now I tried to come in to take my stuff because he had locked the gate. We are standing at the gate. We're having this argument at the gate. I'm outside, he's inside. Inside the gate. The gate is still locked. No, it wasn't locked. It was just closed. So I tried opening the gate to go and take my things. He said I'm not coming in. And I was like, hey, my guy, I'm coming in. I just need to go and take my stuff. Now he's measuring. Because the things were thrown about maybe 20 meters, not 20 meters, man. About 10 meters away from the gate. It could be 10 meters away from the gate. The way. He wants me to stand there by the gate so that he goes and fetches my stuff to give it to me. Now I'm like, but no, I want to see your daughter. I really do want to see this daughter. I don't know what I was hoping to see, but because I could just tell this is a lie. He said, no, you're not coming. I'll go and take my things. He's like, here. And now I'm trying to get to the door because the child put my things outside and got inside. Hey! Yeah. The guy was like, you are not getting here. He started pushing me. He started pushing me so hard. He's pushing me towards the gate. I got pushed because, men have got that muscle power that we do not have. I tried to retaliate and no, he was like, he pushed me out. The minute I get out of the yard, he pushed me so hard that I fell. I fell on my knees. I fell on my elbow. I think my elbow has got still that scar. Maybe it's not so visible in the light. I still have a scar that was there that I had. And I still had scars. Both my knees still had scars from that incident. I fell so hard. And then he dragged me and pushed me into the car and banged the door. I could not believe my eyes. I could not believe anything at that moment. I thought I must be dreaming. Got into the car. I cried now. I cried on the steering wheel. And he came and said, leave. You've got your own place. Go to your own place. I don't know what you're doing here. Huh? I left. I cried so hard. I cried my lungs out. One thought said, go to the police station. And then I asked myself, what do I say there? Do I say he beat me? Do I say... I don't know, man. But I felt like this is not a case of gender-based violence. He did not physically actually just hit me. I could not translate that pushing as... Yes, it was violent. But I don't know. I felt like they're not gonna believe me. And I was bleeding, hey? It was just... I was bleeding. I had blood coming from the hand. I had blood coming from my knees, going downwards. Then the next thought was, let me go to my colleague, my friend. I called and she was like, who's this? She could not even believe that it was me, because I remember I called with my father's phone. It was the one that had airtime. Oh! My phone was part of the things that I had borrowed him my father's phone. Guys, yeah, as I don't know how, I can't even remember how, but it was like, tili, that tili, that smallanyana one, tili man, tili phone, tili, that tili phone. It was the only one that had airtime at the time. I just got it from him and discovered that it had 7 rand something. I called my friend and then I went there. Yay! I cried. Of course, she did not encourage me to go to the police station. I guess I did not even know myself, if I were to go to the police station, what is it that I was gonna say. I felt like I was intruding. I was the one intruding, and the one that was not supposed to be there, trespassing. Yeah. So I felt like I had no leg to stand on. And that was the end of our relationship. The following day, that very, very night, that's when I decided, you know what, let me search the... Whoa, I'm lying. I think that very night, when I checked the phone, I discovered that he had called the wife. I knew the wife's name. He had called the wife. I called the wife, told her what happened, and she was like, that child that's there it cannot be his child. It cannot be. And then Um, she said to me, check a certain, oh, check her name on Facebook and inbox her. I inboxed her, and she said, oh, I inboxed the child, the first child, that where are you? And she says, I am in Paris. I said, no, but your father says he's with you. Imagine, I don't know, for some reason, I wanted to give him the benefit of the doubt. I wanted to believe that he's telling the truth when he says he wants to spend the time with his child, and now I am intruding, I am invading his space. I'm not giving him the chance to bond with his child, and he's not ready to introduce me to his child. Part of me wanted to believe that story, and part of me wanted to prove that he was a liar. I can actually prove that he was a liar. And the girl said, no, I'm not there. It's not me. You know, denial, when it kicks in. Remember, I saw that child. I know that child. Even though I don't know the name, I've never taught that child. But that face, I knew that I've seen that face at school. But denial kicked in and said, no, maybe you are wrong. And then the following day, I sent him evidence that the girl that he was with, it's not his daughter. And he comes clean and tells me that yes, it's true. That was my girlfriend. Really? Okay. Your girlfriend, your child's girlfriend. No. You know, he denied point blank that child that I've seen there is Elena. He said that is the girlfriend that he had been dating. Tells me that girl lives in Everton. That girl is 29 years. She just has a tiny body. I'm like, wow, okay. You know, that guy convinced me that that child is not her. It's not that child. Okay, fine. Then he starts begging for forgiveness. He starts begging. And I had one condition for him. I said, I'll take you back the day the scars disappear. The day my scars disappear. I showed him. I went there and showed him. You see these scars? And he was so ashamed when he saw the scars. He was so ashamed. So what? He even kneeled on the floor and apologized, and you know, he apologized profusely, like he didn't know what got to him. What? He said he was afraid I was gonna beat up that child. I said no, I was not gonna beat up the child. I just wanted to see her at a close range. You know what? Did I report him at work? No, I did not. Reason number one, that child, as much as I have seen and I knew that face, I knew, I did not have the full evidence. I did not see that child at a close range. I did not see that child beyond the close range. So, and that's number one. Number two, I was afraid that I was gonna be labeled the person that is bitter just because their relationship ended. So, because of those two reasons, I just decided that the day if that child decides to tell her story, I will only collaborate that story. That child was in matric. She was 17 years old. She was in matric. Guess what? That's how life can be so short. That child happened to be in my class because I was teaching matric at the time. That child was put in my class in the January. Remember, this happened in December. In January, that child's supposed to be in my class. That child bunked my classes up until March, up until I made sure I called the parents to come and, but I did not say anything about me seeing that child somewhere, and that child was not born, and that child was not cooperative. I knew that child was gonna make me as if I am crazy. I am jealous because I'm jealous for their relationship and so on and so on. I know it is lousy, it sounds like a lousy excuse, but I decided if that child steps up and says, Teacher so and so had a relationship with me and I did not like it, I was gonna collaborate to say, yes, it is true, I did find her at a certain place on this particular day. I even had a date and a time. But if she was not gonna do that, like it was not my place at the time to say it, plus I did not have proof. If I am being asked to bring proof, I wouldn't have any kind of proof, visual, physical, or otherwise, except for what I've seen. It's my word against the two of them. So I decided I'll get out of this relationship. And he kept on begging and begging and begging and begging. And each time he sees me, even now, he's still begging to have me back. And he's now married, by the way, but he still wants me. And I'm like, I ain't doing that. Of all people that I've been with them, I've never experienced violence. Physical violence, he was the only guy that I endured physical violence, and I told myself, I ain't going back. It's a push. From a push, it will be a clap. From a clap, it will be a fist, and then the next thing I may find myself dead. I said, no, I choose life, I choose my children. Guess what? I did manage to get a conversation with their wife, and then I discovered that the violence that I saw a glimpse of, she used to live in that violence from right at the beginning of their relationship. Throughout her having those children that she had with him, she was enduring a serious kind of violence. She says even her going to school, remember, he was in a relationship with her while she was still a learner at his school in his class. When she was done with matric, he didn't bother taking her to school. She says, I end up going to school as an adult as I am after having 4 children only because my whole life I wanted to go to school. This guy said he doesn't have a child and a wife that will go to school. I ended up looking for bursaries and applying myself without even his knowledge. Before I knew it, I waited for me to be admitted to university, and that's when I told him. And he was not happy, not supportive about the decision, and I told myself I'll bear the brunt for that 4 years so that I get the degree. And I told myself that the day I finish, I will not be under his mercy. Then I'll decide what to do with my life. Now, she finished. After she finished, she got a job. After getting a job, she was still willing to stay with him, because she said she was still not ready. But Mugai was so controlling. He wanted her to get out of that job and come and stay at home. And she was like, no way, that cannot happen. And guess what? He had taken her clothes and threw them outside. I don't know what he was hoping for. When she took her clothes and left, that's when he decided to cut. I think he was hoping that this woman was gonna be like, oh, okay, I'm fine, I'll stop working, I'll come and stay at home. Oh, please don't throw my clothes outside, because by then he throws the clothes of the wife outside. He has the kids inside the house, so he knew that the wife loves the kids, and he thought that maybe the wife would say, okay, for the sake of the children, let me leave my job and come and stay with you. And she decided not. That's not gonna happen. If I have to go to court to have my children or access to my children, I'll do that. But I'm not stopping my job. That's when he saw that he lost control over this woman. That's when he decided to cut himself and get into the bath until one of the children found him. And that's when the children called the neighbors called the ambulance, and that's how he landed in hospital in the first place. That time we knew the wife to be this horrible, ugly woman that have lived with the husband. The wife took to school, and now that she's sorted and she has education and she is okay in life, now she leaves the husband. That was the narrative that he wanted us to believe. From then onwards, that's when I knew that the many women that are leaving their husbands once they get education, mostly in these cases, is the same scenario. The wife had been there only because she had nowhere to go. She had no options, and then she was just like, okay, I'll do everything that I need to do just until I get something. As soon as I can stand up for myself, I'll be leaving. It's not because they think they are better. It is not because now they've got education. It's not because of that. It's because they had endured a lot of abuse in that relationship in the years before, and they had endured for the sake of right up until I can stand up for myself, then I'll free myself. And then when the guy stands up there and says, I took her to school and now she is better, she is working, then she leaves me. He fails to tell you that before then, I used to abuse her badly. That they never do. That's when I knew that I have to learn to listen to both stories, both sides of the story, before making a decision. With a one-sided story, be careful. People are pushing their own narrative that makes them look like victims, whereas actually they are perpetrators, they are abusers. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please 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 like this video, please share this video, set the notification bell, subscribe if you have not subscribed, please. Thank you so much. Bye bye. I love you.